Welcome to part 2 of our FCX18 K10 build-off between myself, Wayne from Crawlstock RC and Adam from Crawlers. So in the first episode, if you haven't seen it, we took our completely stock FCX18 K10s and we basically did our visual mods. So no rules, we just went to town and just made it our own. So I went for the farm truck build, so I did some weathering on the body, I did a flatbed on the rear, we got Indiana Jones in there, he's caught his dinner, we got some chickens, we got some geese, we got some hay in there. Just, yeah, I really wanted to do like a farm truck build and make it look a bit old and battered and stuff like that. So that was what I did for mine. For Wayne's, he went for a wrecker build, which just looks absolutely fantastic. He's really good at making all his own stuff, so all his own metalwork. Absolutely fantastic. Top bloke as well. Yeah, if you haven't seen his, check it out because absolutely awesome build. And then Adam went for kind of like a lifted kind of classic style American truck. Really nice candy green paint. Big wheels and tyres, you know, proper kind of off-road kind of style. Looks really clean. So in part 2, we're going to be looking at performance mods. So I've got a whole load of parts here that I'm considering fitting to the rig just to give it a bit more of a performance upgrade. So before we do any of the mods, we'll get it on the scales first of all, weigh it, see how much it weighs and see what our weight distribution's like. We will also get outside on the rocks and just give it a benchmark run so we can see what it's like. Then we will get our mods fitted and then we'll weigh it again and then we can do another little run on the rocks just to see what the overall performance improvement is like. So let's check out the parts. So mods wise, what have we got? So I have actually already fitted the Little Guy Racing Parts 63mm Black Label tyres, and I actually fitted the 1-inch stock plastic wheels from the FCX18 K10, and then in there I just fitted some brass rings. So we've already got better tyres and we got a little bit extra low down weight with the brass rings. There's a couple of things that I really want to try and address. First off being the steering servo. Stock steering servo, it's alright, but I think they're only like 19 grams or something like that. They do struggle when you get kind of stuck on rock obstacles, especially if you go mudding, which, you know, I do a lot of. So I really want to upgrade the steering servo. Now, obviously, with aftermarket steering servos, they just have your standard style, futa bar, whatever you want to call it, style connector. So I have also just got some of these ramp crab adapters so that we can basically plug in the servo connector and then plug into the stock ESC. I do also have for the steering servo an aluminium servo horn. I'm hoping I can fit this because the stock servo horn has a servo saver and again it hinders performance really. Also I want to ditch that, but I fitted one of these recently and the holes on the servo arm don't always line up, but we'll see if we can make that work. I've also got a Triel brass servo mount so we can just get a little bit more weight up front. I might chuck on these brass Enduro hex adapters, I think they're 5mm, so they would just make it slightly wider, not massively, but I might chuck those on. If it kind of looks like it's going to interfere with the body or not fussed on the look, I'll ditch them and go back to stock. And then I was going to originally fit some different axles, and RC All-Wheel Drive actually sent me these new brass Paul axles. Which they're really, really cool. I haven't tried them yet. They do look really, really smart, but I think, to be honest, they're not going to suit the build. I think this is the type of thing you would have. Well, they look very much like they'd be for an SCX24 to me, but they look like something you'd have on like a competition truck or something with like a chopped body or something like that, you know. They don't look like they would suit my build, which obviously my build is going for a classic style kind of farm truck. So we need to be keeping kind of standard looking axles. I know I haven't gone for straight axles or anything like that, but I just think this would take it to another level that I just don't think would suit it. So I'm not going to fit these. It's a shame because originally I was thinking, oh, a nice bit of extra weight, but yeah, I just don't think they'll suit the build. So we're not going to fit those, but they are really, really nice axles. So I think instead what I'm actually going to do is fit brass portal housings on the front and then possibly the brass steering links on the front as well, just to give us a bit more weight. I'm not looking for loads of weight on this rig, to be honest. I mean, for me, this rig is more about kind of off-roading. You know, obviously it would be cool if it can crawl and do some pretty nice rock climbing and stuff like that. But that's not what this rig is about for me. This rig is obviously like a farm truck. I want to run this thing through the mud. I want to trail it. It's more of an actual like trail truck for me. And now the problem is, if you add too much low down weight, it just sinks in the mud, and it's harder to crawl and mud than it is if you just left it stock. So I don't want too much weight, so I think just a little bit of weight on the front. And actually, I kind of cheated already, because one of the other reasons I went for a flatbed was to basically shift the weight bias to the front. When I reviewed the Fair RC flatbed mod truck, I was just like amazed how well it performed out of the box. And I personally think the flatbed makes a massive difference. Yeah, okay, I've got some crap on the back with Indiana Jones and all my animals and stuff like that, but I don't think they actually make that much of a difference to the weight. So I think if we can just put a little bit more weight up front, I think that'll make a big difference. But we'll see what it's like when we run it like this on the rocks. And I think, to be honest, it's going to perform actually really, really well. I did think about going brushless and stuff like that, but I just don't think there's any point, to be honest. I really like the stock electronics. I think they're absolutely fine. You got brilliant slow speed control. You got the 2-speed if you want it. Now, one thing I probably would have done is possibly change to some brass links, but you can get like brass links for the front, but trying to get some from the rear is a bit of a nightmare. I didn't want to add too much more rear weight on this rig. You know, if anything, I just want it to be slightly front biased. And again, they're metal links as stock anyway, on the lower links and the rear, and the upper links on the rear, and then just metal on the front. Again, drive shafts would be something good to do, to be honest, because they are just plastic. But again, trying to actually get the long drive shafts for the K10 is actually quite difficult. So we're going to stick with the plastic drive shafts. Hopefully they'll last us. I haven't had any problems with my other drive shafts so far. Famous last words. And I really like the stock shocks. You know, I like the kind of suspension movement. You know, I like the fact that they're oil filled, and you know, they've actually got really nice movement. I did consider changing them, but to be honest, a lot of the aftermarket shocks I've tried, I haven't been fussed on. I think sometimes they're not as smooth as the stock shocks, and I didn't want something really shiny and stuff like that. You know, again, I want this thing to look old, so yeah. For me, it's more important kind of how it looks and how it articulates, as opposed to it being able to like climb up a vertical wall. Okay, so let's get it weighed first of all and see what the weight distribution's like. So we've got the Sky RC corner weight system. We've got the app, and you can see everything is 0 grams. If my camera would actually focus, it'll be there somewhere. Way, there you go. 0 grams on everything at the moment. So let's chuck it on. Okay, so with it on the scales, we've got total weight of 744 grams, and it's actually, that's actually quite surprising. It's actually a 52% rear, 48% front. So yeah, and then we've got a 52% left, a 48% right split. Now, I know what that is. That's Indy. He needs to go on a diet. That's why he's obviously sending it off to the left, because that's where he's kind of sitting, on the left-hand side, on the rear. So yeah, I'm quite surprised actually, to be honest, that, you know, there's more weight on the rear than there is on the back. So we need to obviously counter that. We need to obviously stop this app being rubbish as well. But anyway, so we obviously need to make a difference to that. So we need to get some more weight on the front of this thing versus the rear. So yeah, I think hopefully with the brass steering links, you know, hopefully that'll make a bit of a difference. So let's give it a quick run on the rock course outside just to see what its current performance is like before we chuckle any mods in it. It'll be interesting to see, obviously, with that rear bias, you know, what it's actually going to climb the gatekeeper like, if it's going to tip over. I'm hoping not, because I don't want to break everything that I put in the rear, but let's go find out. Nice bit of squish there on the tyres, as we'd expect from my flat tyres. It's not actually that bad. Oh, nice, didn't tip over. Stuck there a little bit. Oh, there's a lot of squish on those tyres. Wow, so that's a lot of squish on those tyres. Yeah, we're definitely going to need some better foams, aren't we, I think. See what it's like coming down. Hopefully it doesn't fall over and break everything. Oh, that's not looking promising. If I drop the camera, it's because I'm catching the rig. Oh, I saved it. Oh, yes, look at that. Okay, let's go for the gatekeeper. Some nice scrapage there. Oh, lovely. See if we can get the gatekeeper. Okay, nice. Not even lifting a wheel, look at that. Wowza. Okay, this thing actually performs really, really well. That's so cool. And obviously we got those brass weights in there already, which I added on the first video. If you haven't seen that, make sure you check that out. That's where obviously I did all these awesome mods to my build. I'm actually really loving the squish. I mean, it's a bit extreme, but oh, look at that! That's so cool. That is so cool. I'm loving the way this thing is tipping, but not actually completely tipping over. That is just awesome. Can I get up here? Oh man, fair dues. These Black Label tyres are just absolutely fantastic. Okay, I'm not going to try the merry-go-round with this one at the moment, because I think, to be honest, we'll just end up tipping over and I don't want to smash it to pieces just yet. So let's just try the kind of next hardest obstacle, which is just going up here, and then we can do the stairway. Probably get a bit of ground clearance. I love that lean that it's doing. Oh, hang on. Wrong angle. We've tipped over too far to the side. Oh, look at that. We're struggling a bit there. Let's see if we can send it up there. Oh, no. We almost lost a geese. Oh, I was thinking about it. That's just going to tip over in it. Okay, so that's one obstacle that we can't get up at the moment. Okay, so we just jumped ahead. Let's just see if it can get up here on the stairway without tipping over. This might have to be a grab it moment, because when that rear wheel comes up and dips in, it might go flying. Oh, that's doing it. Just doing it. Oh, I'm loving that squish on those tyres. I mean, it is a bit extreme, but it just looks so cool. And I'm loving that body roll. It's going to look awesome on the trail. Okay, that was actually really, really good, considering it's basically stock, just with the Black Label tyres, some brass rings, and then obviously the flatbed. Indy's still got hold of his lunch, so he's a happy man. But yeah, I'm really impressed with that, and I'm loving the way that body's kind of shifting. So let's get some of the performance mods on it, and then we can obviously give it a run again and see what difference it's made. Okay, we've got our mods on there. Got the 9-mod steering servo on there. I did have to go for the plastic arm because the metal one was just too big and chunky and just wouldn't fit very well, so I kind of had to ditch that. I also couldn't fit the brass steering links because the clearance was rubbish, basically. What I had to also do is just swap the top link that connects to the steering link arm to the servo to the other side. Normally it's on this side, just to give me better clearance, because this 9-mod servo with the arm is a bit chunkier. So I've got the brass portal covers on there. You might also be able to see I did also fit the brass hex adapters. I did get the Trio brass servo mount in there as well. It's a shame we couldn't have some nice axles or something to go on there, but I think, to be honest, sometimes less is more. And I'm hoping just with these simple upgrades that, you know, it's just going to improve the performance. I mean, you know, what it ran like already on the rock crawler course actually did a really good job. And like I said, for this thing, really, I want it to be more like a trail truck as opposed to, you know, some rock crawling LCG super rig. Sometimes, you know, you can throw a load of money at a rig, but do you really need to? And it all depends on what you're going for with the build. And yeah, for me, this is a farm truck. It should be on the trail. It should be getting stuck in mud and spinning wheels and stuff like that. You know, if it can rock crawl, great, but that's not its primary purpose. So anyway, now I finished making excuses for why I didn't fit that many performance mods. Let's get this thing on the scales and see what it weighs now, and see if we've managed to shift that weight distribution from the rear to the front. Okay, so everything's on 0 grams. Let's chuck the rig on there and see what difference it's made. Okay, so we're now 829 grams, so we've gained, what, 84, 85 grams, and we've now got a 53% on the front, 47% on the rear split. So we have managed to shift that weight from the rear forward, so that's really, really good. So it'd be interesting to see what it climbs like now, if it's any better. We do still have a left to right bias though, but, you know, I think, again, it's going to be because of Indiana Jones and his chicken munching diet. But yeah, you know, you can't have it all. I quite like the wobble that the rig had when it was climbing, so, you know, we can sacrifice some performance for some cool kind of wobble looks, can't we? So anyway, so I'm happy with that, you know, simple mod, but, you know, we've gained a bit of weight up front. We've achieved kind of what we wanted to achieve, which was just to shift that weight forward. So let's get this thing out on the rocks and just see what it performs like now. Okay, we're back outside with the upgraded, if we can call it that, K10. Unfortunately, it has been raining, so I think our tests are going to be fairly limited, but live in the UK, it rains all the time, so we've got to pick our moments. So let's just give it a try and just see if it's any better, if we can notice a difference. So first off, let's try the hill climb. I have always wanted to kind of do a little tyre test in the wet, so this will be interesting at the same time as well. If it gets up there, these tyres are just the best. Full stop. Oh, yes. That is some insane squish. Yeah, I might need... Oh, we're stuck. Yay, there we go. Oh, slipping over on that rock. This is a combination of folding tyres from foams being a bit too soft and obviously slippy rock. Oh, I've got to beached myself. Oh, there we go, recover. Oh, is it going to bin it? Oh, thank you to that rock for saving it on the mirror, otherwise I probably would have lost the chicken. Let's just try that again. Obviously everything's going to be a bit slippy from it being wet, but you know, we've got to make do with what we got. Yay, did it that time. Okay, we'll try the gatekeeper. I'm not sure if it'll do it now because it's so slippy, but we will give it a try. Bit of beaching. Go on, see how good these tyres are. Look at that. These tyres are awesome. You can see it struggling there in the wet, but they're doing it. That is so cool. That's so good, these black labels. Now I want to see if this will do the up and over, because that's a really slippy rock, because these rocks are kind of like slate, so they don't have the best grip in the dry, let alone in the wet. Look at that squish. So cool. Ready for the rear one? Oh, lovely. Oh, I was thinking about it, look. Oh, yes. Oh, it's so cool. I love that kind of wobble as it goes up there as well. That's just so awesome. Well, fair dues, that's good. Let's just go a little bit further. I just want to see if it tips. Well, that's not bad. Yeah, I think at some point I'm definitely going to have to get some better foams in here. Obviously on the third video we were going to do like a running video. And you know what that means, this thing's going to find its way into some mud. And I think that's going to finish off those foams, I think, to be honest, once it gets some mud. Oh, if this can get up here, I mean, this would be crazy, because it's quite tricky, and obviously now it's slippy. Go on. Look at that squish, look. Lovely bit of creasing. Love it. Oh. Let's try give it a little bit of throttle. Oh, that's going to end with Indiana Jones getting a face full of chicken. Let's just try it from here. Squish. Oh dear. Drop a comment below if you love the squish. I'm a sucker for the squish. I know it's not the best performance, you know, side hilling is going to be awful and it's going to keep folding over, but it just looks so cool. Oh, this is going to be tricky up here. Oh, maybe not. These tyres are amazing, fair dues. That wobble is just... Oh, go on, scraping my toolbox. I'm going to try the merry-go-round now, because it's normally a good test of kind of like the steering servo. And now obviously we've got this supposedly more powerful steering servo in there. I want to see what it's like, if we can actually get this first rock. It's a bit slippy. So as we come round, I'm hoping this steering servo will have some juice in it to turn. Obviously the rock's going to be super slippy, so we might not get up here at all. Oh, I think we're just going to be stuck here, to be honest. You can see it's still struggling a bit, like it's not turning straight away. I'm not massively impressed with these like cheap 7kg servos, to be honest. I don't think they're that great. I mean, it's turning on the rock, but binned it, never mind. Okay, this is probably a really stupid idea, but let's try the kind of ultimate challenge, which the CR18P Evo Pro can do, where we basically run a tyre either side. Now again, this is wet, so if this can do this in the wet,
Yeah, I think we definitely need some more front weight there. Oh, go on, go on. Oh, look at that. Once it gets that rear tyre up and over. Oh, stuck on the toolbox. Now we're stuck on the axle. Oh, almost lost the chicken. Oh, not quite the same line, but... Oh, stuck in the same place again, hang on. Oh no, our first complete tip over. Let's see if anything fell off. Oh look, we still got a full house of chicken and geese. Super glue, it's doing its job. Look, didn't even lose that top geesey, whatever it's called. Maybe that was a bad idea, but to be fair, it did pretty well getting up there. Because I like bad ideas, I'm actually going to try it again. Because, you know, it's wet and we're getting stuck, and, you know, I like doing stupid things. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. I'll give up. I'm happy with it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Hopefully, you know, not too much of a disappointment with the mods that I've done. Like I said, sometimes less is more. And actually, my flatbed was kind of one of my performance mods. I just cheated and got it into my visual mods. So, yeah, anyway, let me know what you think of the build so far. Make sure you check out Wayne and Adam's videos. Episode 3 will hopefully be coming up, well, this Sunday, I think. Just a bit of an overview of everyone's builds and then some running footage. I am going to go find some mud to send this thing through. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned and watch the 3rd episode. Drop me a comment if you've got any questions. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one.